Ooh, do Jesus. You know, sometimes I get certain articles and I feel like I'm being punked. Because it's always something. I promise y'all, it's always something. Now, before we get into the mess, honey, the mess that matters, child, TGIF, if you listening to this and it's after 7 p.m. Central Standard Time and you went to work Monday through Friday and you don't work the weekends, I want to tell you, baby, you have made it. Okay? You made it. Through whatever was thrown at you all week long, you made it through. I've been saying it in every video today because I need to instill in your hearts and minds that it's okay, you made it, and that things will get better. But, child, even I need to be told that, so make sure y'all tell me down in the panic section it's going to get better. Because, girl, I got an article here. Shout out to my baby over on Instagram. She sent me the story, and I actually was sitting here scrolling through the net to see what had been going on in the world. And, child, I had ran up on it, too. So it's like minutes before I found the article, it was sent to me. So that made me feel like maybe I do need to be speaking about it. So, child, let me tell you. A white restaurant manager was sentenced to 10 years for enslaving and beating a black man. I'm going to say this one more time for the slow ones in the back that think that, oh, those days are behind us and, you know, they don't believe in getting up and letting their voices be heard through going to, you know, town hall meetings and, you know, meetings at in your local area about different forms of politics and how it will affect you. They don't believe it, you know. So I'm going to reiterate the title of this article. It says, a white, a white, hold on, I forgot to cut off some stuff. It says a white restaurant manager was sentenced to 10 years for enslaving and beating a black man. A white South Carolina restaurant manager has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for enslaving a black worker with an intellectual disability for 5 years, forcing him to work more than 100 hours a week without pay and frequently beating him with the belt, the Justice Department said Thursday. On one occasion, according to the Department of Justice, Bobby Paul Edwards, a manager at the J&J cafeteria in Conway, South Carolina, dipped metal tongs into hot grease and burned the victim's neck for failing to deliver fried chicken to the buffet quickly. Edwards yelled at the victim and used racial slurs to belittle and demean him, the Justice Department said in announcing the sentencing. In addition to the prison sentence, Edward is required to pay the worker John Christopher Smith more than $500,000 in damages, including $272,000 in back pay he never received. Smith's ordeal finally ended in 2014 when the mother-in-law of a waitress notified the authorities of the abuse. It was almost inconceivable that instances of forced labor endured in this country to this day, a century and a half after the Emancipation Proclamation, said the Assistant Attorney General. Of the Civil Rights Division. Prosecutors say Smith, who is described as having a mild cognitive impairment, began working at J&J cafeteria as a dishwasher in 1990. Smith, now in his early 40s, eventually dropped out of school, took up a full-time paid job at the restaurant, which was owned by Edwards' extended family. All that changed around 2009 when Edwards took over operation of the cafeteria and simply quit paying Smith, who was given a small room at the back of the restaurant. for 5 years, according to court documents. Smith, who eventually became a buffet cook, was required to work more than 100 hours from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday, without a day off and without pay. Edwards used violence, threats of violence, verbal abuse, threats of taking Smith to jail in order to compel him to keep working at J&J, according to the court documents. At times, the court said Edwards would beat Smith with a belt or hit him with kitchen items such as pans, punch him with his fist, either because he believed the man worked too slowly or had done something wrong on the job. In a federal lawsuit filed in 2015 on Smith's behalf, he compared Edwards to a slave driver who would yell racial slurs at him. At one point, the suit charged Edwards threatened to stomp his throat and beat him until the people would not recognize him. The plaintiff was heard crying like a child and yelling, "No, Bobby, please." And after the beating, defendant Bobby forced plaintiff to get back to work, the complaint says. In 2015, after Edwards' arrest, Smith told a local reporter, a local TV station, that he had been physically abused for years. "He would beat me with belts and all that," Smith said. "Take the tongs to the grease and to my neck." Smith said he wanted Edwards to go to prison, and I want to go there when he go. I'm going to link this down in the pinned comments so you can go read it, because they actually have the actual affidavit on this case. But child, I'm almost at a loss of words, and that's something that rarely happens. I think that it is a crime, it is a sin and a shame for someone to have done something so heinous to a person. Okay? This is why I speak so much about the importance of looking out for one another and standing for something. Because this behavior that we think is passe is still happening today. This man needs his goddamn ass whooped. This is a mentally impaired young man. He's not cognitive as the rest of us are. He has a disability. And this man should get way more time than 10 years for all that he's done to this boy. This boy has been working for this company since 1990. Come on, my nigga. Come on. 10 years? You see the slap on the hand that they get all the time, yet it's an innocent man sitting on death row about to be put to death in Texas, and there's evidence saying he ain't do it. But everybody taking their time, acting like they turning a deaf ear to the pleas of the people, as well as this man who is saying, "Don't kill me, I didn't do that." But this man right here takes advantage of a person with a disability, has a mental disability, and he's treating him like a slave. He burning him, beating him, verbally abusing him, and yet all he can get from the Justice Department is 10 years worth of hard time, and supposedly to pay him some back pay and whatever else. You see the injustice, family? Do you see why I don't have time for bull? This is the kind of stuff that's important. This is the stuff that's happening today that could very well be you or one of yours. He clearly took advantage of this mentally disabled man. Treated this man like less than dirt. Beat him. Took tongs, dipped him in hot grease, and burned him. Verbally abused him. Threatened him. Then you had the nerve to not pay him too? 100 hours a week. Hell, some of us be bitching about the 35 to 40. Imagine adding an extra 60 on it and you don't get no pay. They say he had a mental disability. They ain't say he was loco or nothing like that. You know, I'm sure stuff went through his head sometime. I'm disgusted. I'm mad. I'm not mad that he was caught. I'm mad at the sentencing. Because 10 years is not enough time for how long you abused this man in the level that which you did and abuse him. That's why I say stay woke, family. I'm going to link it down in the pinned comment. You can go over and read it for yourself. But, that one worked me, girl. That one worked me. Let me get on up off of here. Remember, the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to rate the video. Ratings get us recognized on these streets. Let me know what you got to say below. If you have not become a Love Thing today, please subscribe to this channel as well as my backup channel, Lady Nyca Live. Once you have subscribed, please tap your notification bell and set them to all so that each and every time that I drop a pre-recorded video or go live from this channel or the other one, you're going to get a notification. You guys have a great remainder to your Friday night, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.